Tonight, America is vulnerable, and Joe Biden and whoever ran the Autopen are to blame.
Biden let a lot of supercells, and Biden was an incompetent president, had no idea what he was doing. He hardly ever signed a document. Other people signed documents for him with the Autopen. It was gross incompetence. And among everything else, he let a lot of supercells in, many from Iran. But hopefully we'll take care of them. What Biden did to this country should never be forgotten.
Patriots, listen closely. What I'm about to share with you isn't just another headline. It's not a rumor. It's not political drama. This is a red alert moment in American history, something so shocking, so dangerous, and so calculated that it should shake every freedom-loving citizen to their core. We've seen corruption before. We've watched politicians lie. We've witnessed betrayal at the highest levels. But what just came out of Washington is something entirely different. It's not just incompetence. It's not just weakness. It's coordinated deception, a full-scale assault on truth, accountability, and the very Constitution that binds this nation together. For years, we've warned that the Biden administration was a facade. We've said Joe Biden isn't in charge, that he's just a figurehead, a puppet, a man propped up while unelected elites make decisions from the shadows. They called us conspiracy theorists. They said we were exaggerating. But now the evidence is in the open. And even they can't deny it. Senator Ted Cruz, in a jaw-dropping Senate address, just confirmed what we've all feared, that President Biden isn't signing his own executive orders, that staffers are using an Autopen, a literal machine, to impersonate the president's signature, that the American people were lied to, manipulated, and silenced while this fraud was carried out in plain sight. And that's just the beginning. We now have confirmation that 16 Iranian nationals, including individuals tied to Hezbollah and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, have been arrested on U.S. soil. These aren't just illegal immigrants. These are criminals, potential terrorists, people with ties to regimes that openly want to destroy our country. And they've made it across our open border while this administration sat back and did nothing. This is no longer about party lines. This is about national survival.
Since yesterday, ICE has arrested at least 16 Iranian nationals, all with criminal histories ranging from assault to drug crimes. Great people. According to DHS, one is even a former member of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and connected to Hezbollah. That's all. And now NBC is reporting that in the days before the United States attacked Iran's nuke sites, the country sent a communique to Trump threatening to activate sleeper cells here in the United States. Here to discuss is Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullin. Senator, okay, so you could think this is bluster by Iran, do this, and we're going to do this, and kind of a one-upsmanship thing. But should Americans be concerned given what Biden was doing or not doing for 4 years?
Be concerned, absolutely, for sure. Be worried that they're going to, dispatch their sleeper cells. The Ayatollah is not suicidal. And if they were to hit us in the homeland, it would be suicidal for him because President Trump doesn't bluff, and President Trump goes by the same theory that I do. If you punch me in the nose, I'm going to kick your teeth out. And that's the same thing that would happen here. So this whole threat about going to dispatch the sleeper cells, that was the wrong move with the wrong president.
Oh, that ticked Trump off.
Well, absolutely. Because
have you ever seen him more angry than he was this morning? I mean,
no.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, at 7:15, when you get Trump dropping the F-bomb, that's going to be a good day in news. But
right.
That was pretty powerful.
I've known President Trump now since 2016. I've become very close to him since 2019. And
show off.
It takes a lot. Well, it takes a lot to get him upset to that point.
Oh, yeah.
But it rattled him because he had worked so hard on making sure that the message was precise, our delivery was precise. We knocked out Iranians' ability to have a nuclear weapon. And then to see a tit for tat when President Trump showed restraint the day before when they attacked our joint Air Force base in Qatar. So he had a right to be upset, and guess what? It got results, because what he did with the Iranian nuclear program was woke up every leader around the world and said, this is a new day for America and a new leader, or I'd say a new sheriff at the White House.
All right, a former counterterror official explained how these Iranian nationals here in the United States game the system. Senator, watch.
The Iranians can create passports and they can create identity documents. And in essence, the name that they provide doesn't necessarily mean that that's who that person is. That's part of the game when it comes to how they go about infiltrating personnel to carry out operations.
I mean, the fact that we have Chinese nationals here, Iranian nationals, others from adversary countries, they just waltzed right into the United States.
Under the last 4 years of Biden administration.
But the border was secure.
Oh, yeah. Right. Well, but they also said they couldn't do anything else to secure it without congressional approval or congressional help. And President Trump had zero illegals cross last month. And at the same time last year, they had over 60,000. This is why biometric is so important, because we know they're able to forge documents. They forge our currency all the time. They can forge our documents. Without biometrics being openly used on the border, understanding who people are coming in and out of our country is extremely dangerous, and much less the way that the Biden administration did, where I just say, hey, come on in, we'll accept whoever you say you are.
Well, the 9/11 Commission recommended that we fingerprint everyone coming into the country and track them when they leave the country.
Right.
I mean, that was, all those years ago, and we're still futzing around with this.
Well, because it's President Trump in office right now.
But Congress has to authorize it. Y'all in Congress have to authorize the money for this and make sure it's implemented.
We did authorize this. We did authorize it back in the president's first term. We also authorized the ability to scan every vehicle coming in. The Democrats scrapped it all. So the same way they scrapped the border wall underneath President Biden. This was put in place. They decided to use the money someplace else by what? I don't know. Building safe havens for the illegals to come into by putting them in hotels? I don't know.
I want to ask you about this leaked intel report.
Right.
We were just talking to Steve Witkoff about this is serious. This is from the DIA, the Pentagon's intel agency. We know, 15, 16 intel agencies in our government. This is an important early look assessment, right? And it was provided, the evidence for this assessment, by CENTCOM.
Right.
It's leaked. It dominates the news all day long to undercut what looks like a very successful mission on Saturday by our troops and by the B-2 bombers and the U.S. military. Well, so should there be an investigation into this leak of a report in the middle of all this?
Yeah, absolutely. But let's clarify DIA versus DNI. DNI is Defense Intelligence Agency. That is ran by Tulsi Gabbard. DIA is Defense Intelligence.
I think I said DIA.
Yeah, you did. But for your audience, we use so many acronyms.
Thank you. I need you to clarify for me.
The Defense Intelligence Agency. So the Defense Department, they don't have eyes on this like our IC community does. It was a premature leak, and without question, it needs to be investigated. This kind of information cannot be leaked. And because you have fake news like CNN running with the story, and it's absolutely false.
They were salivating all day long on this, banner after banner, mission not successful. Senator, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Hey.
The question is, are you awake yet? Or are you still believing the carefully crafted illusion? Folks, can you believe what we just heard? Biden didn't even sign half the documents that came out of his own White House. They used an Autopen. Let me repeat that. An Autopen. We're talking about the supposed leader of the free world, too. Checked out to even sign his name. That's not just lazy, that's a national disgrace. And now 16 Iranian nationals with criminal records ranging from assault to drug crimes are arrested by IC, one of them tied to Hezbollah and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And Biden let these people waltz into our country with forged papers and a smile. This is beyond incompetence. It's treasonous negligence. Before our strike on Iran's nuclear sites, that regime had the audacity to send a threat directly to President Trump, warning they'd activate sleeper cells inside the United States. Let me be clear, if they tried that on Trump's watch, it would be the worst and last mistake they ever made, because unlike Biden, Trump doesn't bluff. He doesn't hesitate. He leads from the front. He's the kind of leader who, when you punch him in the nose, will kick your teeth in, and that's exactly the kind of leadership this country needs. Right now, even Senator Markwayne Mullin said, "At best, what Biden let happen to this country should never be forgotten." And he's right. It's not just about incompetence. It's about betrayal. Let me ask you something, Patriots. Why are we allowing known enemies to flood our border, forge IDs, bypass security, and disappear into our cities? Under Trump, we had 0 illegal crossings in a month. Under Biden, 60,000 plus in the same time frame. The biometric system Trump implemented, scrapped. The border wall funding, redirected to hotel safe havens for illegals. And now we've got a leaked DIA intelligence report, conveniently timed to discredit our successful military strike. And who's running with it? CNN, of course. The media puppets were salivating to use this to paint a false narrative. This isn't journalism. This is sabotage of the American spirit. Patriots, if this doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. We are at a turning point in American history. It's time to rise, speak out, and demand accountability from every single one of these corrupt, open border, America Last politicians. Drop a comment if you stand with Trump. Smash that LIKE button if you're sick of the lies. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the truth. Because over here, we don't follow the narrative. We fight for the truth. We fight for America. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.